Hi, I'm Paula Marriott from Portsmouth. I work for the Environment Agency. I'm here today at Berners Hall in Essex, and I'm actually prepping for a match that I've got coming up next weekend. I like to come down, have a little recce of the venue before every match so I can get a little bit of a feel for the lake, find any features that are out there and hopefully catch me a fish or two. This will be my third year competing, I believe. I'm up against some serious contenders, and that's why I think it's really important to come down, have a practice and just get a feel for the place so I know what to expect. My idea of an enjoyable day's fishing is on one of my local club waters, targeting the more special fish. I'm not all about the size of fish. I'd much rather catch a really pretty mid-double than a whacking great big ugly 40-50 pounder, but most of my fishing this year is going to be spent on my local club waters, concentrating on those fish and that type of fishing. So I started fishing when I was young, very young actually, probably 8 or 9 years old. I grew up in a small village outside of Portsmouth called Funtley, and I was super lucky. Just literally 200 metres from my house there was a small pond, probably of about 4 acres. All the kids in the village went fishing, and I just wanted to do what everybody else was doing, and that's how I started, catching rudd and roach and perch, and I moved on to bream, and then I caught my first carp. My first carp actually came from the River Wallington. Ever since that first carp, I then started concentrating on carp fishing, and I had a bit of time out whilst I went to sea for a while, and got back into it about 5 or 6 years ago, and have been taking it quite seriously for the last 2 or 3 years. So last year I fished quite a lot of matches, and this year I'm only going to sign up for the ladies singles and the ladies pairs, and I'm just going to concentrate on my own type of fishing a bit more. I tend to use the same 2 rigs wherever I go. I'll use a multi-rig or a chod rig. It pretty much covers most of my angling situations. I've tried other rigs in the past, but I've got confidence in those 2 rigs, and I've caught fish off those 2 rigs. The reason why I use a multi-rig is because it is easy to tie. You can change the hooks quickly. I use it for a bottom bait rig or a pop-up rig, and it presents quite well. Just add a bit of putty or a shot just to balance whatever bait you're using, and I just like to keep it nice and simple. If I'm not 100% sure that that hook is super sharp, if I've had a bite, if I've picked up a bit of weed as I'm reeling in, then I'll always just change that hook quickly and I'm back ready to go on the spot, especially if I've just had a fish. So during a match, I will start off by not putting a lot of bait in. I'll just see how the fish are. If I start getting bites, if I start getting a lot of bites, what I tend to do is put maybe 3 or 4 spawns of particle or boilie or whatever bait I'm using. I tend to put a couple of spawns out after every fish, and not really a lot else until I get signs that they're actually in my area and feeding. So I've been with RidgeMonkey for just over a year now, and I was actually invited onto the team by Dave Levy, who just dropped me a message. He could see from my social media platform that I was using RidgeMonkey products, and he dropped me a message and asked if I wanted to be on board. So I'm using the RidgeMonkey terminal tackle, and the reason why I use it is because I've got absolute confidence in its quality and its strength. So when I've hooked into a decent sized fish, I know that I'm going to land that fish no problem. For the rest of the year I'm going to be concentrating on my local club waters, but also I'm really going to be honing in my skills and practicing techniques ready for England selection. I want to make sure that, that I'm one of the strongest candidates and that I'm selected for the team. I think my proudest moment so far in my angling has to be being asked to be on the England team. It's really good to, it just feels so good to be a part of something like that. It's structured, we've got an excellent manager, my teammates are all fantastic, and it's an absolute privilege to be there amongst those people. The reason why I get out of bed at 4 o'clock in the morning to go fishing is because I get an absolute buzz from hearing my bite alarms go off. It's a feeling that I can't really describe, but it's just an excitement that I feel, and that really sort of stays with me and drives me to prepare for these matches and get out of bed early and spend time tying rigs and preparing and so on. Yeah.